Craziest thing about paying off $30,000 in credit card debt is that for how much money I have put towards my credit cards, I, right now, could still have had everything I've bought that put me into credit card debt in the first place, and it would have cost me less. Once you factor in how much interest I'd paid for the $30,000 in credit card debt, I literally could have had every sweet treat, every trip to Marshall's, every dinner out with my husband that I shouldn't have put on a credit card. I could still have had all of it, and it would have cost me less.
A lot of people are actually in debt, and that is really drowning them. I see a lot of videos when people complain about the economy, and then people be like, I can't believe that, I don't think I'm buying that, because there's a lot of people, when I go to restaurants, there are a lot of like cars parked up, people going into the restaurant, flooding it, people going for concerts, doing all sort of things. There are a lot of people doing those things, and you can't tell me that the economy is bad when people are doing all those things, because the numbers are supposed to reduce if people are really struggling. But the truth is, there's a lot of people who are in debt. There's still people who have money despite the fact that people are still struggling, but there are a lot of people who are just, who don't, so just continue being in debt and enjoy life, because some of them, those little things are the things that make them happy, and they feel like sacrificing it just because they're struggling is not even making any sense at all. So debt isn't always about, you know, wild spending. It could just be somebody trying to live and trying to survive. So that was their only way of surviving and being alive today. So that is actually something that happens a lot, and there are a lot of people who are in student loan debt. Before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
I thought it would be funny to show y'all how much debt I've racked up since getting fired in September and being unemployed for the last 9 months. It's pretty bad. I only have 3 cards, and I've maxed out majority of them. So here's one credit card. Here's my second, which is maxed out and actually over, interestingly enough. Same for this one. Yep. That's me. Meaning that's a whopping $11,632.98. By the way, I'm 23. So, there's that.
Not me entering my final stage of full-blown crash out. I'm literally crashing out. I was so excited for tonight. Oh my god, I'm so worked up. I was gonna get dressed up. I mean, I still am. I'm definitely getting a martini now. Last week, I fucking hate student loans. Last month, I set up auto pay because I don't want to forget. I don't like being late. You could never get on the phone with these stupid student loan people. And I log on today because I have to get my fucking tax documents. Fuck my life. Life never ends. I'm like, oh my god, it says my payment's late. And I'm like, how does that even make sense? I set up auto pay last month with my card and my bank and all the stupid information. And then I call them today and they're like, it's going to be a 3-hour and 50-minute wait time. And then I'm trying to have dad help me. And I'm like, what did you guys have me set up auto pay for that if my payments are now late? And I'm like, I'm not crashing out over Mohila. You're ugly. I don't have time for this. I'm crying over a fucking stupid student loan.
A payment in the amount of $2,910.91 is due on. How can I help today?
I called back on April 4th and then April 18th. What's going on is...
I'm gonna need to get you transferred, okay?
Okay. The consolidation went through about 3 months later, but the IDR plan was still processing. Oh, to this day, it's still processing. It hasn't gone through.
I'm gonna brief 1 to 2 minute hold. Let me look into this further.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Liz, I'm gonna get you transferred to a supervisor.
I'm still not seeing any account updates for the administrative forbearance. I never even got an email confirming like it was put in place or anything.
However, I would have to have the borrower on the line for that.
Okay.
That's the only thing. I'm not able to submit that with you on the phone.
Which is so frustrating. No, you've been really helpful. I appreciate it. 3 hours later. Oh my god.
Everyone's always like, Brenda, why are you working so hard? Why are you doing a full-time job and posting on TikTok all the dang time? It's because I have $78,327 in student loans. And you want to know how much unpaid interest I accrued in the month of February? $523.93. And this is me paying at least a minimum of $2,000 per month. Started with a little bit over $150-something thousand because I had the bright idea of going to grad school so that I can graduate in a healthcare job to help people but not get paid enough for the amount of student loans I had to take out. Now, my fault, I went to a private university, but still, it shouldn't be this hard to pay off student loans. But based on my PT salary alone, there is absolutely no way that I could pay this much with just that salary alone and live a breathable, decent life. Make it make sense?
We pay $800 a month for this car that I'm sitting in. And that is not the flex that you think it is. It is draining us. It is taking things away from my children. It is making it to where we cannot afford a house. So how did we get here? We bought this car used a couple of years ago, and we currently owe double than what it's worth. We had to take a personal loan out last November to afford to buy our kids Christmas. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So $800 a month on a car that's not even worth what we're paying on. And I understand that's how personal loans work, but it's a really big financial issue in our family right now. So for the next couple of weeks, I am going to be posting every day, trying to grow, trying to get into the creator fund so that I can afford to pay off our car. And I will put the loan amount up and each day on what I owe. So if y'all would like to be along for the journey, please feel free to follow me. I am an engaging bestie. I do follow people back. I do engage with their videos. Yeah, thank you.
Y'all ever thought about running up credit cards and then just killing yourself?
Are y'all okay over there in the United States of America? I'm serious. That's a genuine question because looking from the outside of the USA in, it seems kind of wild. And I know that video had a hint of a joke. Like, I don't think that the person that said that is actually going to do it. But the joke might be funny to people because we know that so many Americans have thought that question right there. Of course, I know a lot of people have their reasons for having thoughts like that, like ending it all. And we're not making light of that situation. Actually, we're taking it very serious by bringing it up here. But notice that so many people in the USA think about just ending it all. And a lot of times you'll hear people talk about because of financial reasons. They lose their house, or maybe they think they'll never be able to own a house and they're just barely, they feel like they're drowning and just barely staying afloat. And that is over there in what's supposed to be the richest country in the world. Now, that the title richest country in the world, we're definitely going to talk about in other videos, but let's just stop and think about it. Why do so many people think about just ending it all because of financial reasons in the USA? Now, I know what it feels like to just barely be afloat, living paycheck to paycheck. I know what it feels like to not be able to afford some healthy, good foods that you want to get at the grocery store. I know what it feels like to not even know how you're going to eat the next day because you don't have enough money to buy food for the next day. I know how that feels while living in the United States of America. Now, with that being said, I can tell you that my life and my wife's life improved tremendously by simply getting a remote job and moving to a country where the cost of living is way lower. And now, bonus piece of information here. Did you know that there are actually certain parts of certain countries where they will either pay you to live there, they'll give you free land, you can get a house for like $3, yes, All this stuff is true because there's so many towns around the world where they need more people to move into. Not long ago, Baltimore was offering houses for $1. It all depends on supply and demand. So I'm telling you, your life will improve dramatically. Well, it depends on if your life is good, then scroll away from this. But if you're struggling as a US American, living paycheck to paycheck, barely staying afloat, I'm telling you, just this change of getting a remote job and moving to a place where they actually need you, why not go get one of those $3 houses in Italy, and the money that you're making remotely each month, you're making a higher wage, and use that to renovate the house, because yes, a $3 house in Italy is going to need renovations. So every month you can put a few $100s into it. Now, your next question is going to be, well, where can I find a $3 house? Stuff like that we're posting on our website right now for you. It's called timetogo.international.
Everyone's always like, Brenda, why are you working so hard? Why are you doing a full-time job and posting on TikTok all the dang time? It's because I have $78,327 in student loans. And you want to know how much unpaid interest I accrued in the month of February? $523.93. And this is me paying at least a minimum of $2,000 per month. Started with a little bit over $150,000 because I had the bright idea of going to grad school so that I can graduate in a healthcare job to help people, but not get paid enough for the amount of student loans I had to take out. Now, my fault, I went to a private university, but still, it shouldn't be this hard to pay off student loans. But based on my PT salary alone, there is absolutely no way that I could pay this much with just that salary alone and live a breathable, decent life. Make it make sense?
How do y'all have no debt? I need to know. There are days like today where I just want to go on a rant about debt. I have $40,000 worth of debt, and that does not include my student loans or my mortgage, because those are things that they get paid when, well, the mortgage gets paid all the time. Obviously, student loans, whenever they come back on, okay, whatever, I'll have to pay that. But I am talking about daily living expenses debt. How do you not have debt? Maybe you guys do and you're just not telling everybody, and that's perfectly fine. Do whatever is best for you. I don't normally tell people, but I've been sharing my recipes, and I'm doing a series on share my recipes to help pay down my debt, because how else am I going to do it? It's going to be a continuous cycle. Like, I'm not spending money on like getting my nails done, going buy new clothes, new shoes, new bags. No, I'm getting diapers. I'm getting wipes. I'm getting formula. I'm getting groceries, things that are a necessity for us to quite literally stay alive. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this or goes on rants about debt, but something's got to give. The economy's got to change. I can do some things on my part as far as maybe I can make more money. Hello, TikTok. That would be you. So, yeah. Happy Wednesday.
Is it bad that when I see somebody my age talking about being in massive amounts of credit card debt, like people who go on Caleb Hammer and they're like, yeah, I'm in $40,000 of credit card debt, that it kind of inspires me to spend more money on my credit cards? Because I'm kind of like, damn, I could be going so much harder. Like, I'm over here stressing about my little bit of credit card debt. I'm pinching pennies. I'm saving my money. And like, you're like $20,000 in credit card debt. What did you even do? What did you even get? You probably got everything you ever wanted. And I'm over here denying my, like stressing out over buying myself a cup of coffee. And you're in thousands of dollars in debt. What am I doing? Like, maybe I'm not enjoying my life to the fullest.
Today is one of those days. I am a lot in debt. And I don't make enough money for me to be in this much debt.
Being in a system that feeds off of people being in debt actually sucks, and this is the reality for many. The thing about going to loan money is not about like loaning the money. I feel like paying it back is the most painful part. Yeah, I know you're supposed to pay it back, but then you just like realizing that you go to work, you work for something, you work for a paycheck, and then you just have to send it right back to the bank. It just sucks so much, and you just feel like, damn, like I spent so much hours doing that. But It's just what comes with it. You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.